Okay. Versatile Vigilante, Young Vince, Uncle Vinny, 2023 is about to be part of history, man. We made it another year in the books. I think the fastest year of all time. I think I probably say that every single year, but 2023 absolutely flew by, man. A lot of things done in this year, a lot of situations, a lot of events, a lot of accomplishments, a lot of tough times, a lot of great times, a lot of everything, man. So, last session of the year, I want it to be solo time, reflect, talk a little bit about, some lessons learned this year, a little bit about what's been going on lately, and, maybe some chats about what's to come. So, let's get right into it, man. Fourth quarter in general, crazy. So had the art gallery, very versatile art gallery, which was a super cool experience. Something I've been wanting to do for a long time. Throw an event. I didn't know what kind, but the art thing kind of clicked in me, and I thought it was a good idea and a fun idea. And man, so many cool people came through. Shout out to every artist that came through to display their work. I think it was a really, really dope experience for the city. I had a lot of fun. I hope everyone that attended had a lot of fun. But yeah, man, it was a very proud achievement for me. Been something I wanted to do for a long time, like I said. So very happy to get that. To do that and have that experience. And I think that's going to be a theme about kind of the reflection on this year, man. So this year, at the beginning of the year, I guess at the end of 2022, I kind of realized, okay, 2022, I was able to have a really strong year in terms of consistent interviews. That full year of 2022 was able to basically put out an interview or a piece of content every single week for the entire year. I missed 2 weeks, but for the entire year, was able to put something out. At the end of the year, I'm like, yo, it was sick to do this, and I think I definitely made some strides, but I got to prove, I guess, to people, but mostly to myself, that it's no fluke in terms of being able to handle that type of workload. So I decided 2023 focus is going to be the same, like building on what I built and have consistent content every single week. So I definitely, I did it again. It was funny, 2 weeks again I missed, but I was able to pretty much put out the same amount of content as I did last year. I had some great interviews and met some awesome people and did some really cool things. But it's also like just an interesting thing because I'm realizing, okay, I've done this now. I know I can do this. How do I take things to the next level? And it's interesting because when I talk to myself, 5 years ago of what's the next step for me, how's the next way to level up, I didn't really have an answer, but I just kind of decided, like, just keep going, like keep trying shit. And 5 years later, where I'm at a point where I think it's, definitely I've done this, I want to level up. How do I do that? It's funny because it's not any clearer as it was before. And that's, I think, the interesting part of what I've learned over the last couple of years, especially, is experience doesn't mean that you can tell what's going to happen 100%. You've just been through situations before and you've been able to handle them, and you've gone through them, and you've learned a lot about yourself in these situations. And that's what the real experience is. You know what you're capable of. You've accomplished things before. You've been in tough situations before. You see something similar again. It helps, and there's really no reason to panic because you've already done this. What's there to worry about? Nothing worse. Only thing to fear is fear itself, And I'm at a point in my life and with Versatile Vigilante where I don't know exactly what the next steps are. But I'm also at probably the calmest point I've ever been in my life because I've, over the last especially few years, just experienced so much shit and tried so many things and met so many different people. And this is not a bragging thing. This is just me reflecting on my life, It's just been so much experience for me over the last few years. The amount of people I've worked with, the amount of different types of filming I've done, amount of different places I've been to, accomplishments, tough times, tribulations. Like, so much has happened over the last few years, and I just feel that it's helped me become a much stronger person in terms of what I'm able to handle, what I'm able to expect from myself. Not to really let anyone define anything about me. Like, I've just learned that I have a lot of power. I've talked about this a lot of times. I think everyone has a lot of power within themselves. We can take actions. We're in different situations, absolutely, but you can take your own actions. And I just really seen that growth and change, those things don't just happen overnight. It's not like I make a decision and things will now change. I can make a decision to now put myself in different situations. I can give myself, I can tell myself that, okay, I'm gonna start living differently. But until you actually do live differently, you don't really see that growth or change. So what I mean is, we can say all we want about where we want to go and how we want to grow and how to level up. But I just think the way to do that is to like keep trying to do your best every single day. I don't think it's from taking like a huge swing all the time. That's one thing. I think I'll get probably some arguments on this, and I hope I do, or at least differences of opinion. When I started with Versatile Vigilante, I really thought I needed to, especially over the last couple of years, I really needed to just do as much shit as I can, be always doing as much shit. Even the way I live my life, like, I like to run around quite a bit. I like to be at different spots. And over the last little while, I've learned that absolutely, you got to have fun and you got to run around, and absolutely. But I just feel there's no need to chase this shit. That's what I've learned. And this is coming from someone that, I really feel I put out a lot of work, bro. Like, and a lot of the reason is like, I gotta stay consistent. I gotta stay on people's minds. I gotta stay doing my thing, and I absolutely believe that. But I don't think it's everything. I think growth is an interesting balance of patience and action, because you have to do the stuff. You have to actually put in the work to grow. You gotta every day try things, do things, potentially look stupid. So there's no way to grow without the action. But at the same time, you can't force it. You can't force doing so much. You can't just jam pack your days and think that's going to lead to quicker growth or quicker level up. It's not really, I don't think that is really how it works, to be honest, because you can't control everything, man. There's so many things that happen that you can't control. You can really just control wanting to put yourself in good situations and wanting to grow and be ready to learn and be ready to be humbled. But I don't think change and growth happens overnight. I really don't. I think that's why like New Year's is always a kind of a trap, I feel, where it's like, okay, this is the fucking year. And then, what do you really do? So it's one of those things. It's a very, very tricky balance of you definitely have to do the work. You have to move around. You have to be doing shit. You have to have motion. I completely agree with that. I just think it's balancing that patience of, okay, I got a lot of motion, but I got to let things play out as well. I got to let this situation happen as well. I can't force everything. So I think that's been a huge, huge theme of the last few years. 2023 has just been like a stamp on it, for sure, of you'll just be ready, just be continuing to want to learn and try new things and grow and maybe even look stupid. But it's like the more you do, the better you get. It doesn't mean that it becomes things. It doesn't mean that you don't have to deal with certain shit anymore. You're always going to have these challenges coming up. There's always going to be pros and cons with every single situation. It's not like if I start hitting these milestones, these challenges go away. It's not really true. There's always different challenge with every different situation. And I just think it's important to remember that patience of what we're doing right now is what we're doing right now. What I've done, got to let that simmer at the end of the day too. What's going on in the future, cool, but I got to handle this right now. You know, it's just that interesting balance where you can't just force every issue, man. You can't. I don't think so. And I don't want to live my life that way. If someone feels they can, cool. I'm not here to argue that point. It's just my learnings, my lessons that I've been dealing with lately. It's a mindset that's helped me. And this is the thing, bro. Every day, I'll still have things that I'm feeling fucked up about, or I'll have times where I'm feeling sad or anxious or lonely, all these things. I have that every single fucking day. And I think I will have that every single day because I'm a human, you know? But one thing is by experiencing and trying things and doing things and humbling yourself, but also introducing yourself to, you know, greater possibilities, eliminating limitations, you become a little bit better at dealing with those tricky times. I feel like that anxious time, the lonely time, like you get better at dealing with that once you start doing shit, I feel, because you realize, hey, I could do some cool shit. You know, what can really stop me? You know, you can make cool things happen, do things. And when I say cool shit, I mean cool to you. Like whatever you do, when you do things you enjoy to do, or you try and you put yourself in different situations and give yourself a chance to both succeed and fail, because you need both. You got to have an opportunity to scrape your knees for sure. I think it just really helps. That's where the growth is. I think those experiences that you have in life where you maybe didn't handle things the best way, but you know, you live to fight another day. You've now got this experience under your belt where it's like, wow, I can either never do this again, or maybe I can try to do it a little bit better. I know where I made some mistakes. Next time, let's try it again. And I think that's where the growth is, man. You fuck it up maybe, or you do something you didn't do maybe the best, but you tried, and you take that as a lesson. You can now use that going forward. That's like a life currency, you know, like that's the money of living, that experience where you've done something, you know how it kind of works now, you got a taste of it. Okay, let's try to do it again this time, except let me use these lessons that I've learned. And I think that's what leveling up really is. I don't think leveling up is like being handed something. I don't think it's like just wake up one day and a door magically opens. I think it's from the work that you put in. You take your losses as lessons, you keep going, you do it again, you do it even better, you start growing from there. That's what leveling up is, man. I don't think it's from people supporting. I don't think it's from any outside like mentality. I think it all comes from just you continuing to try and put effort in. I really just think growth and effort are combined. I don't think you can expect to grow if, you know, you're afraid to. I really think that's what it is. And you got to understand too, growth sometimes means not everyone understands what the fuck you're doing. You know what growth is. You got to understand what you've been through. You got to really understand yourself. That's one thing I've learned in life, man. You got to understand yourself. We spend a lot of time trying to understand others, and I think that's important. But yo, we got to understand ourselves first. We got to understand, what do I really want? What do I really enjoy to do? How do I want to live my life? What kind of life do I want to live? What are my real interests? You know, that's what I think is what's going to lead to growth. When you understand yourself, you kind of start to learn about what you want to take from certain situations, what situations you want to maybe put yourself and not put yourself in. And I think that's when the opportunities start to arise, because you trust and know yourself. You're able to put yourself in different situations where, okay, I can learn from this, I can succeed at this, I can fail at this, but I'm going to learn from it. And I think that translates into leveling up, man. And I'm talking about this because for me as a person, there's a lot of situations I deal with in life. I don't really have the answers. Almost any situation I'm going through, I don't have the answers, to be honest. Versatile vigilante, I don't have the answers. I don't know what the next step is. And I'm kind of excited about that, man, because there's so much more left to go in life in general. And versatile vigilante, I don't feel the need to put any restrictions on myself. Even the challenges I'm going through, like, I don't know, man. I just am trying to look at it like these are opportunities. Every challenge I'm going through shit in different parts of my life. Nothing that bad, everything's good actually. But I'm human and challenges are challenging. And I'm just trying my best to use every challenge and maximize it, man. Every bad or tough situation, same with every good situation. Let's enjoy it. I want to enjoy all of it as much as I can. And with a tough situation, yeah, it might not be fun, but it's going to be a challenge where, okay, let's figure something out here. How did this work? How did this work? See what we can do for next time. And before you know it, you add some tools to your tool belt and you're even that much more experienced. But that's it, man. Living, a lot of cliches, but I believe in this shit. It's not a fucking joke to me, bro. I'm not a joke guy when it comes to this type of shit. It's you live your life one day at a time. You got to be in that moment every moment, man. You can want to speed things up, but you can't. You could want to just jam pack your days and think that that's going to be make your growth that much faster, make your next level that much faster. It's not really true. It's not really true, man. It's a lot about balance, a lot about patience, a lot about planting these seeds but watering them at the same time. Plant a lot of seeds, you don't water them, not gonna go anywhere, bro. So I think you get the point, man. I want to say thank you to everybody that has supported Versatile Vigilantes. Thank you to anybody that came to the art gallery, showed love. Anyone anyone that's cool, man. Honestly, shout out to everybody. It's been a fucking awesome ride. Very, very excited to see what's gonna happen in the new year. I'm not expecting to be putting out as many interviews like this. I'm going to say that. So anyone who's watching at this point, you're probably the ones that click on these interviews. I appreciate it. Probably going to be less interviews for the first part of the year at least. But I have some real things that I'm going to put out and film, and, it's going to be sick. There's going to be good stuff. It might be less quantity, but I think the quality is going to be leveled up a little bit. The visuals of it are going to be a little bit different. So if you're a supporter, there's going to be a lot coming. Different though. It's going to be different, but like I said, that's where the growth comes from. Sometimes just trying new things and putting yourself in the putting yourself in the field to potentially get hit a little bit and still keep getting going and get back up. So that's what I'm really thinking about for 2024. But 2023, shout out to everybody. Really fun year. A lot of growth, a lot of cool people, a lot of cool situations. Expecting more of that in the new year. Shout out to everybody. Versatile Vigilante, bro. Let's fucking get it.